Good morning and welcome to Vlogmas Day 4. I actually slept in today. It's 6:45. Hey everyone, so it's Vlogmas Day 4. I'm up early again because I didn't get everything done that I needed to get done yesterday, so I'm back at my desk, which is where I was until about 11 last night. So I'm back at my desk and I'm ready to just do the stuff that I need to do. I'm gonna show you some blanket stuff today, but first I need quite a lot of coffee. So I was sitting at the desk and I was working and I noticed that I was basically falling asleep at the desk while I was doing the things that I need to do, literally kind of doing the sleep head nod thing. And so I came in here and I was like, right, I'm just gonna cat nap. And I told Sarah, I was like, do not let me sleep any longer than 5. I have the vlog to do. I have to get ready for tonight, because tonight is my Stitch and Bitch Christmas group. I'll give that. It's tonight's my Stitch and Bitch Christmas thing, which I totally neglected to mention this morning because I hadn't forgotten. I don't know. And so now I'm in bed, really struggling to get out of it. I just want to sleep. But I have to get up, and I have to shower, and I have to get ready to go, and I have to film things, and yeah. This is the amount of fluff that was required to coax me out from under the blankets. And I mean, this is several sheep's worth of wool. Yeah, it is cold, and it's always colder when you get out from under the blankets, in a really upsetting way. So I'm wearing my Vinterskov sweater. Designer is Carrie Westerman. I posted about it in a podcast from a few weeks ago where I was talking about sort of my knitwear journey then and now and stuff that I've made that I don't wear anymore. But this is probably my favorite garment I've ever made. I like it because it's a really positive ease sweater, and it's really snuggly. And I probably won't wear this once I go out tonight, but or once I get into the place that we're going, because that particular pub is really warm inside, to a really alarming amount. So I have a space shirt underneath. And I promised I would talk to you a little bit. I've got some wobbling going on up here. I promised you that I would talk to you about my Northeasterly blanket, which I am desperately trying to finish before the end of the year so I can show you all what a blanket club might look like if you were going to make it. So now that I'm sort of nearing the end of the year, I'm realizing that I maybe shouldn't have made the strips quite so long. But then again, I really like really long blankets. I'm a tall woman. There's nothing worse than a blanket that only just barely goes over my toes but then leaves the rest of my foot cold. So it might end up being that for me personally, when I'm done, I might want to do a few extra strips on either side just to kind of pad it out a bit more. But that aside, I do want to show you what I've got going on. So I have a few different pieces. The first piece is what I've been working on. Well, I guess this was the first piece. This was the first piece. So this was months. Let's see, there's 3 colors here. So this would have been months, January and February. So there was 2 different colors every month. So this is January and February. So it was kind of pink and sort of a neon pinky purpley kind of. It's not really purple, but yeah, kind of pinky purpley. And then sort of we move into the oranges, and I was doing sort of a checkerboard thing in the beginning, swapping back and forth between colors. I gave up on that after the first couple of months because, I don't know, I don't know, I just did. I was worried that the colors would stop lining up well because my maths had been wrong. So anyway, so you get in some oranges, like an orange with a bit more white, an orange with a bit less, and a bit more orange. And then towards the end here, the yellows. So wait, that was more than 4 colors, wasn't it? So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and onto this bit of yellow was the 5th color. So this would have been the first color in March. That's the 3rd month of the year. So you can see this is mega super ultra long. It's mega super ultra long. This is still dragging on the floor. So this is probably almost 7 feet long. Almost 7 feet long. Nice and long. I am 5'10", which means I'm almost 6 feet tall. So this gives me a little bit of extra wiggle room. So almost 7 feet each strip. So this is 2 strips wide. That was the first piece that I did. And this piece I did when we went away to Cornwall last March. Oh, I've just noticed that I talked about this in another podcast, but this really clever join, the join as you go join, I don't know what I'm doing when I'm knitting this very therapeutic, very, calm knit, but I kept dropping stitches off the side, so then the really clever join would fall down, and it doesn't unravel your blanket because those stitches are like slipped and not live. It just pulls the strips apart. So then I have to get like a crochet hook and drag them all back together again. So I'll have to do that. Anyway, so 7 feet long. This is the first chunk that I did. The second chunk is, how many strips wide is this? 1, 2, 3. This is 5 strips wide. So this was like earlier in the year. So like March, April, and then more into like the blues, the greens, and then the blues. And see, this is where, wait, there's a piece here that is definitely detached from the next part of it. Yeah. So this is what happens when your super clever join comes apart. So my blanket's not unraveling, or anything. It's just, that the clever join came apart, and I have to but that's not the fault of that's definitely not the fault of the pattern. It's the fault of me. It's the fault of me not paying attention. Anyway, so sort of like March, April, kind of like May, June, July, and I think this is through like August or September. The last blue, I think this was like sort of September time. This blue. And then I've been, was it September? Yeah, because I'm definitely like a couple of months behind. It's either September or October. And so then I took a strip with me to Spain to knit on the airplane. I actually need to switch out the needles because I still have the Knit Pro Trends, which is what I take when I travel, because they're cheap, and so they're cheap and they're also non-threatening. So if somebody at the airport did want to take them off me, it's like, it's not going to be a huge deal. It's not going to be the end of my world or anything. And I take it on an interchangeable cord, so even if they wanted the needles, I could still keep my stitches from, being wrecked. So I took this with me, and this is either, I think this must be like September or October. I need to actually like count all the colors that I've got going on. So this is September or October. This was in what day is it? This was in day 3 of Vlogmas where you saw me knitting. It was this next strip, and I don't have too much more of this. Mind you, the Northeasterly, I think, is originally written for like 4-ply and DK. I did mine in chunky because I didn't think I'd have time every month. I wouldn't have the time in the year to make a 4-ply or a DK blanket, especially not with knitting. So I decided to go for chunky, and honestly, like, it's really snug. Like, I might just go out like this. I'm not gonna go out like this. It's tempting though, but then as soon as I get into the pub we're going, I would just be like, it's hot. So yeah, so I'm working on this strip. It's a couple of feet long now, 3 feet long. I don't know. I'm bad at judging I have very bad spatial awareness, so I can't actually tell you how long this is. 2 or 3 feet? Maybe it's 3 feet. Looks like about a yard. 3 feet. We're just going to settle on that. So I've been working on this. There's not too much more of the ball. I might finish it tonight. Honestly, I've not had a lot of time to knit lately because, surprise, it's December, and small businesses tend to get very busy in December, unless your small business is like scaffolding. I don't know. A scaffolder's busy in December. I would guess maybe not. So anyway, things have been very, very busy. Obviously, you've seen me up super mega early. Trying to get things done, trying to get caught up on things like emails and back orders and everything, trying to make sure everything runs smoothly this month so that we aren't, running all the way down to the wire. Also, because our local pack and ship place, it looks like I have stars on my head. Also, because our local pack and ship place closes on the 20th, I think. So it closes a fair bit in front of Christmas. So we need to make sure that we are totally on the ball, because the other local post office, those people in there do not like me very much. They used to be its own post office, but now it's migrated into the library. And because it's in the library, it's smaller now, and they really don't like me rocking up with a big old bag of packages, even if I've done like the click and drop thing online, which is usually what we do, so that we're not holding up the line for a million years, especially in December. They still don't like it because it takes up too much room behind their counter, and they get really like, oh, you can't leave this here. And it's like, we can leave this here. You're supposed to take these here. Oh no, you can't leave this here. You have to go to the distribution center, which is in like Hatfield or something. It would be like a drive to get out there. And then like at the distribution center, they don't always want to take it either. They'll just look at you like, what are you doing? So anyway, we like to stick with our local pack and ship place. Hashtag support small businesses, because that is a small business there. And so anyway, we're just trying to make sure everything stays on the ball. But anyway, yeah, so this is my blanket I'm desperately trying to finish. So I guess if you put together, if you put together what I've got going on, so here's the bigger chunk. This is like a very fashionable toga thing. If you put together that, I should probably at least put this together on the right side. Okay, so that it flows, so that you can see that it's meant to be a rainbow sort of thing going on. So with all of this together, 1, 2, 3, 5, so that's 7 strips. I'm working on an 8th strip, and I might be able to squeak out a 9th, but like that's a pretty decent width already. It's human sized. So it's a pretty decent width. And when I add on that other strip as well, and then I can just kind of keep adding on to it, I guess. I haven't decided whether I'm gonna just like carry on adding on to it next year with next year's blanket club, or if I just want a different blanket. I don't know. We'll see. But saying that, next year's blanket club, so the 2020 blanket club signups were open probably the day after we take the last packages in December. And I have it all planned out, because this one, the theme was Nihilist Rainbow, so sort of like bright, kind of like punchy neons that kind of flow one into the next as sort of a big rainbow gradient blanket. And I think next year, I have it all planned out. It's still going to be a rainbow theme with a little bit of a twist, and I'm working on a mock-up to show you what I mean. It's difficult for me to get what's in here onto paper in a way that makes some kind of sense. So I've actually been enlisting Sarah's help to be like, this is what I mean. Can you make this make sense? Because like I said, spatial reasoning, none, 0, bad. So, but it's going to be really cool, and I'll start sharing that kind of stuff soon. But I don't know if I'm just going to carry on with this one and just make it some like giant monstrosity blanket, or whether I'm just going to add a couple strips to this, call it done, and then next year start a new one. Because this year I swore up and down it's going to be a crochet blanket, because I'm not going to have time, to knit like a whole, because you get 200 grams a month, right? So each skein is a different color that they go together, designed to flow one month into the next. So at the end of 12 months, you'll have had 2,400 grams of yarn. So it's a big blanket. So you'll have a big old blanket. So yeah, I swore up and down that I was going to crochet it, and then somebody in my Stitch and Bitch group, the place that I'm going this evening, brought in her Northeasterly, and I was like, oh no, like I love it. Like I'm so drawn to this, to how like one end is the sort of point and the other end is the sort of, that was a bad way to show that, is this, right, like this, and you get this nice little spine going up the center, and it's super easy to memorize, and once you get into the rhythm of it, it's really good. So yeah, I haven't decided whether I'm going to crochet one next year. I probably should. I should probably crochet one next year. So, and maybe not make it 7.5 feet long, maybe. So that is my blanket that I've been working on throughout this year, kind of on and off. I haven't actually finished that many projects this year, partially due to my whole, I'm not going to be a monogamous knitter anymore, and partially due to things that there's been other things in my life taking up a lot of time, which knitting would have taken up before. So, oh, hi.
Good morning.
Okay. You want to say hi? You can just say hi.
Hi.
Sarah says hi. Sarah is about to pack up some orders, I do believe. So I should probably wrap this up and help her before I go tonight. Anyway, so I just wanted to kind of show you that was kind of what I was going with here. I think that looks pretty cool. I'm finally starting to warm up. Oh god, it takes so long to warm up after you get out from under the covers. Whew, the struggle is real. Okay, thank you for watching what day is it? Day 5 of Vlogmas. I will be back tomorrow. We are going on a dog walk tomorrow, so perhaps you will see some funky Springer Spaniel action if they decide they want to behave, which is a 50-50. We'll see about that. And thank you for tuning in. I was thinking about taking you with me to the Christmas thing tonight, but I decided I didn't want to have to worry about filming while I was there. I just wanted to kind of chill and have fun with my friends and have that be that, and be able to just kind of eat and not have to constantly be messing with my phone, especially since my gimbal is broken, officially broken. I spent about an hour this morning looking at tutorials and hacks and fixes, and it says no. So I don't know if I did something to break it or if it's just not a very good gimbal, but it's kind of a bummer because these are not cheap. So I'm deciding now whether I want to keep tinkering with it or whether I just want to get a new one. I don't know. I'm sad Benda. Okay, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe, all of that jazz, and I will be back tomorrow.